I'll call the finance meeting order on today. I'll turn it over to Ms. Myers.
Y'all, your agenda is in your binder. Item number 1 on our agenda is a motion to discuss the Southwest Louisiana Planning Commission. We have a memorandum in our binders that was dated May 13th. I'll turn it over to Ben, so he can give us a brief cap on what we need to address.
Last month, we were kind of debating staying a member of this commission. The chair, Mike, has put together a memorandum kind of outlining their goals and plans, and so I thought it would be good to include it in the meeting for everyone to kind of understand what their goals and how their money's spent. So I don't really have no big revelation from last month. I thought it was good that everyone had a copy of it, and we could continue kind of like
It looks like are they running short on?
Yes.
Did I look at their fund? I just glanced over it. Looked like they were running short on what their goal was or something. They want to up it or something.
Well, there's going to be a meeting to go over their budget in the next week or so. So probably can find out even more information then.
And you still feel like we're getting enough juice out of our contribution there?
And what is our contribution on a yearly basis?
I think it's $15,600. I don't know.
And what benefit are we receiving, Ben?
The benefit for sure would be a voice, a vote in how this organization prioritizes its goals in the region. There are small ancillary services. They assist sometimes with grants and mapping and stuff like that. If there was a larger grant that applied to a bigger area, we may be a participant in that. But as far as multiplying our money, I don't know that we're getting.
And right now, we're just discussing it. When's the deadline?
Yeah,
Is there a
when do we
deadline?
have to make a decision whether or not we re-renew?
So this provides some good information. There's a budget meeting, like I said, next week or so, and then maybe we could bring it back to finance one more time. We're just paying month to month right now, and then just make one final determination,
Okay.
maybe next month.
Okay,
You good with that, Ms. Myers?
I am.
All right.
Okay. You know, the next item is number 2. It's a motion to discuss and take action on the Calcasieu Mechanical Preventive Maintenance Agreement. We had talked about this, but we got the final figures. If you'll look at the spreadsheet, it's broken down by buildings. You'll see a full coverage price for 26, 27, 28. Then you'll see a preventative maintenance price for 26, 27, and 28, and you will see a very significant difference. If we only go with the preventative maintenance, it's a cost of $53,304. If you go with a full coverage price, the price more than doubles to $112,416. So we need to decide which one we would like to go with. We had talked about going with a certain one before we had final figures, but these are the final figures that we have received since last month's financial meeting.
And the major difference between the two, Ben or Ford, is one's a full maintenance. In other words, they go change the oil and go through everything?
No,
What is it?
the full maintenance is kind of like prepaying, or you have like, I guess, a small insurance built into that. So some of the rotating equipment, specifically the compressors, are kind of covered under that in parts, and you may get like a 10% discount on service calls. So, but you're kind of subject to them deciding sometimes whether or not it's covered or not covered. I mean, it's not, every situation is not covered in the agreement, so you kind of, sometimes there's judgments. I think some of these are preventive maintenance already. You can see a couple line items like the 911 building. There's no difference in the two because that's preventive maintenance already. I think the animal shelter is preventive maintenance. So it's really the multipurpose or the event center, the jail, and the courthouse is really the big three buildings that would be a difference. So that 53,000, I don't know that it's quite fair to say it's double because there's a little bit of hidden cost savings in the 112, but I don't think that we would approach that number just on our service calls. So the preventive maintenance part is typically very similar to the same. It's more about them bearing the cost if a compressor goes out. So, which is,
It's usually covered under a warranty or something like that, I'm sure.
sometimes it's already kind of covered under a warranty. So,
So which you're leaning towards just the preventative maintenance?
Yes.
I think it's still good coverage if we want to, it's $50,000,
To go with the preventative.
I think it's important that we keep that they do those preventive maintenance steps and they would keep a relationship with a company that's watching our equipment.
Okay.
Register of voters don't have anything in their building that would pass under that.
Yeah,
Yeah, generally.
Jeff Davis registered.
It's on here.
Oh, it's on there.
Yeah.
Do it under health.
It's like the sixth
Yeah.
one down.
It's just, they're on here as well.
It's for, I think it's for 3 years. I mean, I get, and I guess that's kind of why the prices are, which is probably good, the prices are held that way, but I mean, I guess technically we could ask for, a 1 year. Reviewing the invoices, it's hard to see where those discounts kick in at. It seems like we're getting charged typically, normal price.
Okay.
If it's a 3-year deal, I wouldn't mind trying a preventive maintenance program for that kind of price, and then after 3 years, if we see that we have other issues that are surmountable to paying the 112,000,
Do we have an option later on to go up?
I think every 3 years you
Yeah,
have to
every
renew
3
it.
years.
Yeah, it's a 3-year, you can't
Yeah.
go up till 3 years, or can you just,
No, you could,
at year
you
one,
could,
raise your hand and say, I want
no,
to go up?
you could do that. They would have to agree to it, but you could, yeah.
Okay, cool.
On the bottom, it says every 5 years requires a maintenance agreement.
That's energy rebate.
That's energy.
Everybody?
Energy.
Okay.
So if y'all go with the, preventive maintenance, if y'all could kind of maybe rescind the, full coverage agreement, because I believe last
We
meeting
had
y'all.
voted to go with full coverage because we didn't have the
Yeah.
final figure.
And those
So
were-
basically, we would need to make a motion to not go with full coverage and go with preventative maintenance instead, and then everybody vote in favor of.
Okay.
So,
So we need to make
What's
a
the
motion.
difference other than cost? If they're full coverage, do they replace an engine or I don't understand what they're.
Sure.
Some rotating equipment, the biggest line item is the compressor. So they kind of take on the liability if the compressor goes out.
That's in full coverage.
Full cover, and I think you maybe get like some discounted rates on overtime and stuff. So,
On the equipment we talked about, does any of them have warranty left, or are they all out of warranty?
no, there's a couple, smaller units with warranty, so.
All right.
That's why I'm saying, I'm thinking, some of the warranties probably should cover 3 to 5 more years, and if we have to change it, we can always upgrade it.
Yep. All right.
So, what I need
Make a
to do,
motion.
make a motion to withdraw the original vote on the full coverage,
and approve the preventative maintenance
and,
price.
second.
2 different motions, or just all in one, 2 different motions?
I think it'd be 2 different motions. I would go with 2 different motions. One to rescind the full coverage and then one to accept the
Make that
preventive
motion.
maintenance. Yeah, I'll make that motion to accept the preventive maintenance price.
First, we have to,
Yeah, well, I got to second I'll second the full coverage, motion. to rescind it.
Listen, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna make the first motion to, withdraw the first,
Full coverage.
full coverage agreement.
I'll second it.
Second by Mr. McKnight.
And then Tim
Tim made the second.
makes a second motion
And that's to
to
withdraw
approve
the initial.
the preventative maintenance costs.
Okay, we need to vote on that first.
Yeah, let's vote on the first one.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, that would pass.
Yeah, I'll motion that we accept the preventive maintenance price for 26, 27, and 28.
I'll second.
Made by Mr. McKnight.
All in
By
favor?
Sherry. Aye. Opposed?
That passed.
All right. Ms. Meyer?
Okay, Ms. Courtney.
Now, number 3, you will have a quote in your binder from John Deere. It is, we need to discuss and take action on leasing a John Deere grader for 5 years in the amount of $4,885 per month to be paid out of our special revenue account. And then we also have, we can also optionally look at maybe purchasing some tractors instead of leasing a third grader. But, so again, we are renewing which grader lease?
We have three graders that are, leases are up. There's two quotes. One's $48.85, that's if we got renewed all 3 graders. And the second quote is $49.55, that's if only got 2. Not much difference in price.
And that's the total grader lease for 3 of them?
No, per unit.
Per unit, that's
Per
per
unit.
unit. So, man, that was cheap.
So the motor graders represent some of our biggest equipment costs. In comparison, a backhoe is around $1,900 a month. So in the maintenance, we have basically 4 quadrants of the parish with 4 yards. We definitely need a minimum of 1 motor grader. If we got it renewed, a third one, it would be a fifth, it'd be an oddball. It could be rotated, throughout the parish to help support, and that's what Randy's doing now. What has been brought to mind that I've thought about is, we currently have 11 backhoes, and we primarily use 6. And the other backhoes, the other 5, are primarily older backhoes that are constantly broke, that basically we keep at the yards for the sole purpose of loading up rock in a truck, loading up rock in our patcher. Could be used as a backup in a bind. But typically they're older models, some without cab and AC. Usually have a hydraulic leak or something like that. So, but as far as for going fix a washout or something, those backhoes typically, it's typically the 6 newer ones or 7 newer ones. So if we did decide to get a tractor, we got some quotes from Kubota, 90 horsepower, 77,000, and a 110 horsepower is 82,000 per se with a front loader. And if we had one at each yard, that tractor could be hooked to a grader like the one we built, or even if we bought a store model, and help supplement the graders. Because right now, after like a big rain, all we have is four or five pieces of equipment to go out and address roads. If we had these other tractors, we could go out with 8 pieces of equipment and address roads. And sometimes that piece of equipment just needs to go meet the dump truck that's bringing rock and they help spread it. So it's food for thought. We don't have to make a decision today. If we did get some of those tractors, we could surplus some of those older backhoes that are just at the yards for the sole purpose of loading up rock. And the new tractors that we bought with front loaders, they would take the place of that tractor.
How many graders do we currently have?
5.
And we're renewing the lease on how many?
We could renew 2 or 3. If we renew 3, they're $48.85 a month per unit. If we only renew 2, they are $49.95 a month. And just so you know, we got quotes on Komatsu. They're about $500 more a month, and Cat was almost $1,000 more a month per unit. So we did get some other quotes to shop.
And you feel like that, if we did go with the tractors, we could eliminate, safely, how many graders? 1, 2? What's your opinion on that?
The least amount of graders I think we need is 4.
4, okay.
So I think we need,
How many tractors are we looking at purchasing?
how many tractors, what?
Are we
How many
looking at
tractors do
purchasing?
we want to purchase for $77,000 apiece?
You want one at each yard?
But y'all, the roads are not being graded like they need to be now. I get constant complaints in my districts that the roads are not graded. Bill gets the constant complaints that the roads are not graded. Why purchasing these tractors is gonna help the problem? Somebody explain it to me.
Our goal is to try to do, on a good day, you could do 5 miles a day. But in reality, because of weather stuff, 15 miles a week. If you have 200 miles of, or 150 miles of gravel roads in your district, and you're doing 15 miles a week on average, you do the math on that, it's every 60 to 90 days that you can grade a road mathematically. And so ideally we would need 8 graders, but having a tractor with a grader attachment could supplement some of these roads that just need a touch up, and then the grader could so
And how many how many qualified people do we have that really just do an excellent job on the
Do
grader?
we have anybody who just grades at all anymore?
You got Gumbo,
we have the foremans are typically the better ones. Gumbo, we have Braylon, who does well, and another guy, his yard. Chuck's a good grader. Danny works for us part-time, and he's been kind of using that 5th grader, but he's limited to like 8 hours a week or so because of his retirement, so we can only utilize him very little.
so you have 3.
So
Really good ones.
there's two in Welch that do a decent job. They're not perfect, but so. And Danny has been working with some of our younger guys as well.
Kind of show them that rope.
But a tractor pulled attachment doesn't require the skill level as a motor grader, because you're not really moving the rock around as much. So
You're just dropping it in the field.
Drop it.
kind of dropping and going. That's right.
We have the attachments.
No, we have the one I built. It's at Eric Crelo. We brought it to Hughes 3 times to get quotes to get one built, and we've been unsuccessful. Now it's at Eric Crelo's. So they were out last week, and I'm hoping to get a quote. But I imagine it would be about $15,000 to duplicate that. There's off the shelf little 3-point graders that range at probably from $5,000 to $8,000.
So we have to buy 4 tractors at $78,000 apiece, plus $15,000 attachments for each one of those? Is what you're saying?
Yeah.
To make a grader attachment for them?
Yeah.
So we're looking at $93,000 per unit, and we want to buy 4 of them? Approximately, am I correct?
Looking at about $370,000.
So motor graders are around 400,000. So that's the backdrop of. Over time you're kind of paying that amount, for per grader.
But do we have the crew to run the equipment if we buy it? That is my question.
Which equipment? The
The
tractor and the grader?
the tractors and graders.
Oh, that's,
Tractors are easy.
Tractors are a
Yeah,
whole lot
tractors
easier.
are easier.
Yeah.
My only issue is, I know with the blade that we had some complaints, not just in my district, but they were putting those teeth down way too much and grinding the road up, and then we had to go back and fix them.
So
My complaint is my roads aren't graded enough in my district. That's the complaints I
yeah.
have.
And I
And
understand.
my roads don't have any
And
rock on
Ben
them
is-
to be graded.
Ben is correct on
They're on
the
dirt
turnaround on the
They're
grade,
riding on dirt.
I can understand that, because I know I got, probably me and Bill and Byron probably, and not disgrade anybody else, we probably got the most gravel roads out of anybody. And I know the turnaround to get a road graded, it's not very often.
It's not.
Yeah.
People complain constantly.
And some of my roads can just use the tractor pulling the grader and it'll be fine.
Yeah, no, I
Be
think
a
a
lot
lot of
quicker,
it,
too.
and I think it'd be a whole lot quicker, but
And you can use the tractor for other things.
Yeah, tractor could be used for that. And we don't,
Lower skill level.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
I could do it. Not the grader though.
I think we get the grader renewals or whatever we need on the graders, but I would like to get a price first from Eric Crelo on what the cost was for each one of those before I would approve trying to get those tractors.
So when do our current leases expire that we have to,
they're up for renewal, so we have a few day grace period, but we need
few day grace period?
a few days. I think he'll give us to the end of June.
Can they
be-
bump, cause a lot of
because-
times on a lease, they'll give you an extra 30 days.
Well, they're so low on the hours used, so,
He's got 2 in the yard right now, ready to go.
yeah.
That's John
We
Deere.
don't have to buy all 4
Who's that, Doris?
if we buy tractors and.
Right.
We need at least 2. We need at least 2 of those, what we're talking about today. It'll give us 4 in each yard. I mean, 1 in each yard, all 4 yards.
The motor graders.
Motor graders.
Yeah.
Well, we definitely gotta have the motor graders. Whatever we need to have, we have to approve that.
Yeah, and we're not, yeah, I mean, it's a lot to think about, but mathematically, 15, 20 miles per week per grader, that's 80, on a good week, that's 80 miles, but, we probably have 300-400 miles, so, it could be 4 weeks sometimes mathematically before that grader could hit, if they grade every single day. And so we have no other option but to either wait that period out, and I just don't think we can afford 8 graders, or we'll probably even have 8 people to operate graders, so.
So in comparison, the tractor in comparison to the grader, how much slower is it?
I think a tractor with an attachment could probably hit
But the tractor,
double the amount of roads.
the tractor's
probably.
not grading an entire road, it's just like patching and fixing, right?
It's
it's
10,
not-
the one we're pulling is 10 feet, so you take a minimum of 2 passes, 10 foot on each side.
You just can't pull nothing with that. You can't make a turtle back with it.
Right,
You're
right.
just going and grading with the road that's there.
Right, you're not changing the shape of the profile, you're not moving rock from one side to the other.
You're just knocking out the washboard.
That's right, that's right.
All right.
So,
That could cut down time on grader getting back to, like, let's say roads A to Z. That grader goes and grades A and goes through all these other ones, but some of these roads don't need a grader, they just need that tractor to go
yeah,
make passes. And then that would cut your math down to,
yeah. And
Get
after,
them faster.
after a rain, when the roads are soft, we kind of have to hold the back on the graders for a little while because they're very heavy and it's too easy to move material where, we've had in the past gone with the tractor attachment and hit it real light and,
There'll be 3 weeks Thursday, we really hadn't graded because of the rain, so yeah, we're behind. Normal rotation, it takes, in a perfect world, about 50 to 55 days for that grader, before being made the quadrant. In our old area, 50 to 55 days was the rotation when they would start over again. It's a little different now, it's,
and so Randy, I know there's a lot of complaints, but I mean, we have prioritized that with our crews, and Randy is weekly making production reports. So I mean, we're watching it very hard, making sure that.
So just to put it in a nutshell, today we need to make a decision on, we have X number of graders. How many are renewing? Do we have an option to extend them 30 days?
The main request today is to renew 2 graders, and I would love, whatever information would like me to bring on the tractors, maybe in a subsequent meeting, I can bring more detailed
And
information.
if we find that in 2 months that we need a 3rd grader, we can always just get one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Randy, how many miles you got in Thompson to grade?
6,
Five,
7?
6, 7.
So a tractor would do that one
Yeah,
over there.
yeah.
You wouldn't have to run that
Could in
grader,
between times, yeah, it could.
because you gotta run a grader from Fenton to Topsy.
Better run,
Yeah.
everything we have to run there, yeah.
And you got 4 tractors is the cost of 1 grader, right?
That's roughly, yeah.
And the attachment.
We just don't know the price of the
I
attachment
think we
yet.
That's
would, I think we would prefer to wait till we approve any tractors, till we know what the attachments are gonna cost us and if they can be made, y'all. I think we need to hold off till we have an exact price.
Yeah.
We don't have to hold off forever, but as soon as Credo.
No, I said we
Yeah.
vote on our graders and we hold off on the tractors till we have all the information and the attachment prices and we know exactly what they're going to cost us.
Do we have
So-
any tractors we can get rid of? We're replacing?
There's probably 5 backhoes that
We could send the surplus?
we could send to surplus. So, I mean, to touch a backhoe is probably $2,000 or $3,000 sometimes. I mean, just you barely do anything to it. So, I mean, some of this backdrop is maintenance costs that, you know. We're putting the flail mowers that we purchased, they came in, we're putting those on the tractors. So we're gonna have a better grasp of exactly what tractors we could surplus. And we might better get by with only 2 tractors or, you know, I mean, 4 is a lot, honestly. It'd be hard to get that many in 1 year, but once these flail mowers are moving forward, we'll have a better grasp.
Okay, so if nobody has any further discussion, we somebody make a motion.
So we're wanting 2 graders or 3 graders? Do we need 3?
I don't, I would rather pause, wait a meeting, and, because I think tractors pulling a grader would benefit and have our turnaround in a shorter period of time than a 5th grader.
All right, I'm gonna make a motion for us to approve to, at least 2 new graders to whatever yards they need to go to.
So Butch said a while ago, can we get another grader if we need one? We can do another lease, but I have it in writing with Doris where we needed a 5th grader. We used to have 6, so that's 7 at one time.
We don't need it.
So if I need another grader, that 5th grader, he'll have to be in a day. It's gonna be a rental rate of $8,700, but it's a machine we need if we have a hurricane to help with the rest of the stuff.
But you don't have the operators, I mean, we don't have,
We don't have operators for them.
So that's
Jennings
what.
has 2 of the
I
graders
can't-
now, the Jennings grader and the Elton grader, and those 2 guys grade, but that leaves Raven and one other guy on a mower, and they have not, that takes all
so
their
if we get 2 new graders, how many, that's gonna give us a total of 4?
Total of 4, yeah.
That's what I keep going back to in my head, though. If we get 4 tractors, the skill level on the tractor is not nearly what you require
Not even close.
on the grader. So
You
that
drop it
gives us
right.
9 pieces of equipment to go out and hit roads, 4 of which can be hitting roads that don't need grading on a full grader, but they need some minor maintenance. So, I mean, in my head, I just keep thinking, the tractors, we keep saying we don't have operators for graders, but we have operators for
Yeah.
tractors.
We could all operate a tractor
I
there.
mean,
So-
yeah.
It buys us some time with
Yeah,
that gator
yeah.
grader.
I'm definitely not against the tractors. Definitely not against the tractors.
I'm not against them
Yeah.
either. I would just like a total cost on each one of them before we approve them, because we don't even know what the attachments are gonna cost. We don't
And-
even have a quote, we don't even know where we're getting them from.
Oh, we have a quote for the tractors,
We have to put
Yeah,
it-
tractors.
and he's estimating the grader piece at
So-
15,000, so 95,000.
So refresh me again, 77,000 is how many horse tractor?
90.
90, and 80 something was,
82 is 110.
That's basically the same tractor, just a
so
cranked
for
up.
$5,000 more.
Yeah.
I'd rather go with
Bolt
the
to it.
110 versus the 90. That's my opinion. I'll run it
I have
for
that
$5,000 more.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys, I know it's more money, but
I have that 91 and it does fine on everything I
it
do.
does, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I know the skid steer, we bumped it up. I
Yeah.
didn't know, and it's not just my opinion, I'm just saying.
All right, so Wayne made a motion to extend the,
2
graders, 2
correct?
graders, and
Second.
second by Mr.
All in favor?
What are we doing with the tractors? We're waiting.
Yes,
I don't think if y'all made a motion today, it would speed anything up. I think we're gonna still do the same stuff in the background And if y'all voted to approve it next meeting, I think we wouldn't lose any time
Okay.
on moving forward, so.
So you wanna just hold on the tractors right now?
I don't think it would delay
You're
it.
just giving us information now?
Yeah,
Well, we can always call, if we can't wait the month, we can always call a special meeting, finance committee
Yeah.
meeting,
Yeah.
correct, Cory? In 2 weeks or whatever, if we think, if you can get those quotes, Ben, we can call a special meeting, and have that approved.
So we've approved the lease on 2 graders. We'll get the final tractor quotes with the attachment prices to be approved next month, and that'll be a quote to purchase 4. Y'all, the next item on the agenda, number 4, is a motion to discuss and take action on jacket magnetic mounts, chest cameras, from Louisiana Radio Communications in the amount of $3,240 to be paid out of the Regional Consolidated Jail Fund. And there are 27 of them, and they're heavy jacket magnetic mounts, basically,
$120 a piece.
yes, chest cameras.
Find that, man.
That's for the sheriff's office?
that's for, the.
Deputy?
Jailers.
The
Jail.
deputies in the jail? Okay,
Chest mount cameras.
yeah.
Are they just gonna be used in the jail, or are they
I
gonna
don't-
be used everywhere?
So it's kind of like part of their uniform. I think it's a heavy duty mount that these cameras hook to. It's not technically the camera itself. So,
You got 27 employees that work in the jail?
At one time?
so our agreement, our CEA currently reimbursing for 22. But I think the CEA says that I don't think we pay for uniforms in the CEA. These items are kind of like, as with item number 6, I mean, I just want to present these to y'all, and if y'all want things that are requested in a certain way, or you want certain information, that's kind of what I'm asking. I don't want to independently make these decisions. I'd rather run them by finance.
So this is not for patrolmen, this is just for in the jail?
In the jail, but we got cameras in the jail. I'm trying to figure out what was the
That's
cameras.
what I don't
used for.
understand. There's not 27 people working in the jail at one time. And why would they need chest cameras on when there's cameras everywhere else? So is this for the jail, or is this for patrol? Because it sounds like it's
says jail.
patrol to me.
It says
The
jail.
cameras in the
I
jail,
would
do
understand
they
that being
record
patrol.
audio also?
It looked like it says jail, though, is what I read.
It's from Thomas. Thomas prepared it, y'all. I don't know.
Well, let's defer this until we get more information.
Okay.
Because if they're talking about cameras on the jail, I don't see it. I've never seen it anywhere in any kind of,
I've never seen a jail
I
in
think
the
this
jail.
is for patrol people.
Well, what if, let's say a jailer brings somebody to court, he's got a chest camera on him the whole time.
well, he can pick one up. He can pick the camera up.
I know, this is a mount that you pick up
This
a
is just
camera and
mounts,
you
this
click
isn't
it on.
cameras.
It's not the camera, it's the mount for the camera.
Do y'all want a greater explanation?
Yes.
Yes.
Jail committee.
Table it.
What information would y'all like?
We want a detailed explanation as to what these are going to be used for. We have a jail committee meeting, they can explain it to us on Wednesday, and we can vote on it next month.
And is Louisiana Radio the only, I know I've asked before, they're the only one that specializes in this? No one else to get bids?
If it's just a mount, I don't see, unless it's because they're using it.
And we want to know why they're going to be used and why they need so many.
The only thing I see is just because it's a Motorola device.
And Ben, what would you say on Louisiana Radio? They're the only ones that,
It's gonna have to probably be a Motorola distributor, and they're probably the licensed authorized dealer in this area, you know. So,
yeah,
They've already explained
Where
that.
they get their
yeah.
radio.
I don't know that there's a great discrepancy if you went got a quote from a Motorola person in Lafayette or.
Okay.
Okay, y'all, number 5 is a quote from, on fixing bulletproof glass panels. The quote is from Lake City Glass. It's in the amount of $5,200 to be paid out of the Regional Consolidated Jail Fund.
So why do we have to replace the glass?
How did it break?
Did they shoot it or something?
So in the central, where they look at all the cells, part of the settlement, I think it pinched the corner of these two glass panels, and it kind of sent
Oh, shattered.
The foundation,
They are, I would say, I mean, they're still very much intact. They are probably 95% visible. I mean, these are smaller, cracks. I don't know that it's impairing their view of the prisoners in any way, but they,
but once the glass cracks, it continues to crack. Most-
The integrity of the glass is weakened though. right?
Yes. It's kind of
If
like a
you shoot
windshield.
it-
Once you got a crack in it, your crack continues to get worse. Wayne makes the motion. Do I have a second?
Yes.
Second by Marcus. All in favor? Okay, motion passed. Y'all, number 6 is a motion to discuss a method for requests for purchases from the warden. I didn't have any information on that, Ben, so I'll let you
Well-
explain that.
yeah, I just kind of, if there's, kind of getting back to the item we discussed, a lot of these items I think are sent directly to Thomas for purchase, and I just, at y'all's pleasure, what would y'all like to see when the warden or the assistant warden makes a request? Do y'all want it done formally?
I think so.
I don't want to dictate the terms if y'all have some specific terms that y'all want.
So currently, it just has an open book right now currently? Or,
I think it's done kind of pretty informal to Thomas, and I would like to,
Normal, like he just goes ask for it, or like he submits a piece of paper to him, or he just walks back in the hall and says, fix the glass? Like how informal are we talking about?
No,
How formal are we about?
I'm talking about like purchases for these magnetic holders for their cameras and stuff like that. Stuff that's, more or less,
I think we need to put a dollar amount on it, where he would not have to bring it here.
well,
I'm thinking as far as the jail maintenance, it should go to Thomas, but anything like for the jailers themselves, the warden needs to make the recommendation. You see what I'm saying? Because Thomas is submitting a request for those camera mounts, but that should have been the warden, because that way he can explain it more in detail, not Thomas. Thomas is in charge of maintenance, not the actual business.
I'd like to know, is this something new on the jailers, or is this something we're replacing on the jailers, or is this? I mean,
I don't think
okay,
it's
you
in the
want
jail.
27 jacket
I'm gonna
mounts.
be honest with y'all, I don't think it's for the jail.
so
I
I
think
don't,
it's for patrolmen, they wanna just pass it through the jail.
It only makes sense that it's for the,
I guess the root question is for stuff like, that's not like, important to the jail's operation or maintenance, stuff like these magnetic holders. I would like for if this finance committee would like, I would like for to continue bringing those before y'all. It delays the process. And so, I don't want to be the person holding up these purchases, but if y'all would like and continue for me to bring items like that where there's discretionary, then that's basically my question. Or do y'all want me to try to make a
I don't see a
decision?
problem. The only thing I think we need to emulate.
I need more of a
to
justification.
more
what
justification.
I'm fine with the way it's being.
Whenever it pertains to maintenance, Thomas does it.
right,
Whenever it's
Yeah.
pertaining to the actual
material things.
prisoners and stuff, the
Operation,
jail,
right.
the warden makes it,
And
not Thomas.
yeah, and we have a, in the PO policy, there's different levels, and if it was critical, like if this glass was critical, I would have approved it, brought it back to the finance committee to ratify it. And there's not an issue with stuff that's critical. It's these non-critical items that are discretionary, that if y'all okay with me continue to bring those items to y'all, it could delay the purchase, and that's how I'll continue.
I'm okay with it.
I think the consensus of the group is to make sure it has justification with it. Make sure if it's anything operational, it needs to come from the warden. And if it's anything maintenance related, it needs to come from Thomas. But any request that comes before us, we need a justification as to why we're doing it. Am I correct? Okay. Yeah. Number 7 is a motion to discuss and take action on approving the purchase of freestanding panels for the arena in the amount of $5,416.12 to be paid out of general fund. You will see the quote in your binder from Thornwell Warehouse, and Chad said it's gonna basically finish off our arena
Yeah.
and the materials that we need.
The main arena and the warm-up arena, we'll put them all done, all finished. The old panels are falling apart, they all been up, so this will be the lifetime of the fairgrounds.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
You got that?
Motion passed. Okay. Y'all, number 8, it's a motion to discuss a road widener attachment for the skid steer. I don't have any information on that, so I'm gonna turn it over to Ben.
And that's the widener we originally talked about then?
So when y'all approved the purchase of the skid steer, y'all approved the purchase of a $15,000 attachment to help put the rock on the side of the road. And then when we got to looking at that, we had a couple concerns. We've never used one of those attachments before for that purpose, and we weren't really familiar with that brand either. So we did not purchase that attachment. We do have this item here, and it's at Eric Creelo's, and I'll show you. So we have this in our possession. It's very similar in nature, and so what we were planning on doing was taking what we already have and converting it with Eric and Creelo and them's help to an attachment such as this. And this is a little bit more sophisticated attachment. I'm sorry for that. This is what we want to convert. We have this already, and get Eric and them to put a skid steer plate to it, hook it to the skid steer hydraulics, and what's unique about it is it would put the rock on the side of the road way more efficient than the original attachment we had, and we were already going to spend $15,000 on that attachment. We feel like if we just take what we have and convert it to something like this, it would make the job a lot quicker, safer, faster.
Have you seen that actually in person work? Other than a video?
That's the same.
I've seen a demo at Covington, the brand new ones are $72,000, I think. They work very well, it's just this one would be cheaper fixing what we have.
Yeah, I mean, we could piggyback on a bid for $66,000,
Yeah,
but we think we can get Eric and Creelo and them maybe to fix irons for around
we
the,
paid $3 for that, we just need to.
right,
fix
for the amount of money that we would have spent on that bucket attachment. We think
So
we could get
$15,000.
Eric and Creelo and them to convert it to something like this.
So if y'all go to Empire Road from 102 to 26, y'all see what we did. We did it by hand. The guys did it by hand. This would eliminate that.
So, yeah, so, in summary, two things, we didn't buy the $15,000 attachment, so that money wasn't spent. And Eric Creelo has this attachment in his office to what I showed you earlier, and he's gonna work up something to basically convert it to that.
And you think we've been in the same range, 15,000? You're hoping?
I hope so. Brand new from the factory, we can get one of these for 66. So I'm thinking we could probably get that converted. Those wheels push against the truck, so it's very efficient. I mean,
That they, that is, those contracts that they do,
so we received bids for our overlay. We're under budget, so that overlay is gonna. I'm assuming the police jury is gonna approve the overlay. So, I mean, we have 10 miles that we have to put gravel along the side. I mean, that was the deal.
When are you gonna get the bid from Eric? Any day?
Their shop foreman was out last week. I went and met him the week before, and we're supposed to meet up this week.
Me personally, I would be probably okay with it if it works and his bid is reasonable. And And we're
I've
not going
talked
way
to-
over the 15.
I've talked to people that have used these. They've been used local by contractors. DOTD has one. It's an independent one. I've seen that one operate. It doesn't hook to a skid steer. That one's $400,000.
This is what they're similar to whenever they're doing it, I've seen them, the one, they do the overlays, and they have to do the shoulder. They have a truck that carries the rock like that, but this is
Yeah.
an independent.
So the one we have mounted to the truck itself, and we're just trying to basically convert it to hook to the skid steer.
How much rock does that thing hold?
Only a couple yards.
Yeah, that might be. But you gotta
It's
dump
like
it.
wigging the shovel.
Yeah. And then we'll run the hydraulics off the skid steer hydraulics. It
Now,
won't,
skid steer has that little 24-inch packer that we come right behind.
yeah. So when we do our overlay, we're gonna have a lip just like this that we're gonna have to put rock. 10 miles.
300,000 is a big choice.
So do y'all wanna approve it? Do y'all wanna approve it with a max amount, or just approve it pending Eric's quote?
I think we need to look at this quote, or get on that, I mean,
We can't go too high because the backdrop is we could buy a new one for,
right.
$66.
yeah, so I
If it
don't.
costs us 30 from America, don't pay it.
Or if you want to paraphrase it, Corey, and just say that as long as we don't exceed the bid of the 15,000 we had already allocated for that attachment, if y'all are okay with that.
So do y'all wanna say we approve up to 15,000? Or do we wanna wait for his quote, guys? Y'all tell me.
I'd be okay with it.
I'd be okay with up to 15,000.
That's what we had approved on the original
Yeah.
bid.
That's what we had approved in the original time that we were gonna buy and we didn't purchase.
And this is what we have, so.
My biggest concern is the shoulders of the road, or, you know, because we use Cole Road as an example, it's chipping bad. Y'all all know that, y'all done been there. It's bad.
It's bad.
Not just because I travel it every day because I live on it. But I'm gonna tell y'all, chip seal been there 20 years before I was in office, and it's breaking pretty bad. But some spots I don't have the shoulder that some of this is gonna stay. We're gonna put it, if we don't compress it, it's gonna fall off into the ditch.
Well, they're gonna come behind it with the packer, is what he said.
Yeah, and I'm just saying,
Did he come
hopefully
back
that,
and pack that shoulder once it's?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're gonna have a packer behind it.
We could shoot the top with the emulsion. You know, we have the asphalt trailer that has a
I'm
wing.
just looking at cost.
You could just shoot a cap it with a,
Yeah, make it stick.
That would probably last a whole lot
We have a
better.
line too, we can.
yeah, but I mean,
You pack it first before you.
Yeah, spray your
Pack it
motor
and,
on top.
you can pack it
That-
and you
that
can
would help.
spray it.
Wayne,
so
look
go,
at Crochet
yeah,
Road.
no, go look at, Crochet's Road holding up pretty good, but go look at what we did at Empire.
No, the Crochet Road is contractor put down limestone. So that's $300,000 we spent, not on just Crochet, but it's gonna go away one day.
But on Empire, we sprayed it, so it would
Yeah, I'll see,
stay
it probably
better.
look good. They did a piece on Cole Road that they did pretty good.
You think he can do it for under 15 bid?
I don't know. I don't know, but I don't wanna spend too much money on a piece of equipment that's older, that's, one of a kind. This would have part numbers that I could buy replacement parts off a shelf, so I don't wanna spend too much on it. But we have a lot there, if he can utilize most of it, then there's not much that he might need to do to it.
Just get us a quote and we'll,
Yeah, we need to get.
You wanna-
So,
Do y'all wanna approve it up to a certain amount, or y'all just wanna wait on the quote? How soon do you need it?
I would like for that, if it's to spend up to 15, if y'all think that's a good number, I think it's a good number.
When's the overlay store?
Well, if y'all
Somebody
approve,
cornered me yesterday and asked me that
if y'all
same
approve the
question.
bid Wednesday, then that'll kick off the signing of the contract, and then, this year, hopefully this year, yeah. So, we'll need this sooner than later, because as soon as the overlay's done, we wanna immediately put the rock to protect that edge. So, that's why we're trying to be in front of this,
So
being
y'all,
proactive.
do y'all wanna approve up to 15?
up to 15,000.
Okay, so Wayne, do you make that?
I'll
And
make
do you
that
second? Wayne makes the motion and Chad seconds it. All in
Aye.
Thank you. Y'all, number 9 on our agenda is a motion to discuss accelerate Southwest Louisiana housing study, the $2,500 parish contribution to be paid out of general fund. This is what the gentleman presented to us on Wednesday at our agenda meeting. They're wanting to do a housing study. They want us to contribute that amount, and we need to say yay or nay.
And Ben, can you give us he approached you originally, right?
The steering committee member, Miss Cheryl Manuel approached me, and she didn't have very good information on it. She ended up sending me an email from Scott. I felt like it applied more towards the urban area. I noticed that when Scott presented last Wednesday, it did not look like the city of Lake Charles had contributed any funds to the study. And I think they're one of the most biggest impact or benefactors of that study. So,
The police jury, that's the only one, the Calcasieu Parish Police Jury.
I think if it aided in growth, probably in the Lacassine area, Iowa area, housing development, then it would be, that would be a cheap investment to help grow that area.
It's growing already.
I just,
I believe we can do it without it. Yep.
Any other comments on it? Anybody?
I'll be the bad guy and make the motion that we don't do it.
I will agree with that.
Second.
I've got a motion by
Pass
Mr.
it
Day, second by McKnight.
All in favor of not approving this?
Take that $2,500 and put it for a tractor.
So,
Fix the side of the road.
Yes.
y'all, we also have some updates Ben would like to present to us, so we'll get started on those. So the first update is on the criminal court fund.
Dodie is, we have the auditors coming later today, so we're kind of wrapping up some books and balancing accounts. At the end of December last year, there was just over $200,000 in the criminal court fund in accordance with Louisiana Revised Statute 15-571. 50% of that balance goes to the general fund, so we're making about a $100,000 transfer of the criminal court fund. So we say good news for the end of the meeting. You want to keep going, Miss Myers?
Please, Ben, just go through with all the
Okay.
updates. Y'all stop Ben if you have a question on anything he tells us.
I received the email that we were getting another $750,000 grant. I don't know any information about it. It took a month or so to get through all the weeds to get to the actual Cassidy funding. This is probably related to that in some way. I think it's something about drinking water. We're gonna ask if possible. It's a different fiscal year funding, but we're gonna ask if possible that that 750 could be added to the Cassidy funds as one larger pot and one larger project. But more to come on that. May take a month or so to find out. Kelly, they're working on the GoSEP reimbursement that she talked about. It's close to $200,000. She talked to me, I think, last Thursday. That's still looking good. So keeping our fingers crossed and watching the mailbox hopefully when that check comes in. Capital outlay. I saw in House Bill 2. I don't have a signed copy, so I guess it's not executed yet. But there does look like there's some funding that was put in priority 2, which means it has to go through the bond commission for approval to be priority 1 to actually be spent. But there's $380,000 for Jeff Davis Parish Police Jury. There's no other information than that. We'll probably get with Skip and Mark Abraham for context that there might be other agencies kind of like last time that might be in that amount. But it's kind of exciting that there at least is a line item in the capital outlay for the police police jury. The jail cameras, y'all had approved, we brought an engineer, they came to the assessment on the jail. They were could do plans for around $50,000 to do the plan set. I asked them to include cost for not only doing the plan set, but also managing the project, because I felt like if they did the engineering plans, that they needed to be a part of the project if we would go out for bid. And so I got a updated quote on that of not to exceed $150,000. And so kind of pump the brakes on that. So there's no action being done on that or no money being spent on that. Those are just quotes. On a secondary front, we got with another company that are state contractors. So their equipment and their labor is on state contract. And I got some quotes late Friday. So I'm sorry I don't have them here to present formally to y'all. But those numbers look consistent with what we originally thought, and we could talk more about it at the jail committee. But there's and one of the main things I want to go over with the sheriff is the cameras now that the sheriff uses, I think, exclusively is a Vigilon, which is now been bought out by Motorola. And so there's a price break if we go with a off-brand, let's say, system. But so that'd be something we want to talk about at the jail committee. But rough numbers is around $500,000. But we wouldn't have to pay any engineering fees because it's all through state contract.
And that's for the camera.
Well, it's more than just the cameras. I think about 150,000 of that they would build a whole new system that would not be part of Cornerstone no more. On the previous quote we got, Cornerstone was going to do an integration of about $100,000, but would still be tied to Cornerstone. Would still be, every time we need something, having someone fly from out of state, paying hotels. We're paying like a $10,000 a year maintenance agreement with Cornerstone right now to be a preferred customer. This other company, they would build a kind of a system from the ground up, and they're local. The guy's number's a 337 number. They're I think out of New Iberia. There's an office maybe. They serve jails in Louisiana, Arkansas, and maybe Mississippi. So that gentleman, I asked, told him I would like for him to come and speak to y'all and explain his system. And so I'll be trying to coordinate that with y'all soon. But that's, like I said, I only got the numbers Friday late. So that's the
All right.
update.
All right. We got something else.
One more thing. Thanks to Dodie, she put together kind of a spreadsheet. This kind of breaks down the appropriation. We received roughly $600,000, but that was spread through the sheriff, the fire districts, OEP. So we're kind of coordinating with the money has to be spent by the end of this month. So we're tracking this very detailed. OEP currently has not met their quota. Our plan is either have OEP spend that amount, or we were going to apply that to something that was eligible to the appropriation, knowing in the background that later on maybe general fund could help support OEP. But ideally, if OEP would could finish out their purchase of their allotment of the appropriation, but our backup plan is to try to use an eligible item to apply to that money.
Will be used through OEP, because most of this money will be used before the end of this month.
Through
We
OEP?
have some other items that have not been submitted, and we will be using the complete amount. We may have at most probably about 1,000 left in it, but we're gonna use both of it right now. Just haven't got
I got one. Go ahead. I just want to make sure that the jurors get copies of the finance. They requested that last time, so I don't know if we need to send them a hard copy, but at least an email with what was discussed, that way that they can have an opportunity to review it.
For the,
Well, last time, a couple of them, we were talking about the fencing and stuff. They said, well, it's not on my list. And so they just want to be able to look at it, which I understand, before they vote. So if we send them a copy of it.
I know, with the overlay, the reason kind of we chose those 10 miles was because of the amount of money we had to spend this year and stuff. And then there was a lot of uncertainty, question marks, like with Topsy and stuff. So we did slightly the bid came slightly under, which is great. Topsy, on the other hand, looks like we have an opportunity to maybe spend a little money and get another road, IU road. And if y'all approve that those monies are kind of offset. So I don't know. And with all these gravel we got to put on the side, I don't know that a chip seal project or something is feasible right now. With still a lot of question marks, there could be change orders. Those are two big projects. We don't want to outpace ourselves. The rain has been hit pretty hard on our roads, specifically our gravel roads. In the budget for this year, we did put $300,000 for gravel roads in the road sales tax, and that is something y'all have done in the past, from my understanding. And so, I would like to start utilizing that budgeted money, and let Randy put some gravel on some of these roads that need it. So we haven't spent none of that money, but just to let you know kind of ahead of time, that was our game plan.
Okay. Anything else, Ms. Myers?
So we're taking the gravel project out of the road tax funds and not division funds?
Well, they've
Emergency.
up to this point so far, it's been on all of division funds. But at some point in time, you're limited. We can only spend so much. It's only so much is budgeted, and so only so much is there. So if we want to exceed that amount, we did put $300,000 in the road sales tax budget this year for gravel. I would like to start getting ready to put some of that gravel down.
Yeah, you're gonna need it right now.
So,
All right. Nobody has anything else, Ms. Myers?
It's about $8 grand a mile.
so yeah.
Anybody else?
Motion.
Second.
Thank you. All in favor? Y'all, there's still some stuff over there. We need to make sure everything's signed before we